Hi, hello, it's me, your funny little YouTuber boy. Well, this is my first my voice reveal, I guess you could say. But kind of wanted to do this because everyone's making a tier list video. So I played through the game. I'm done with it. Finished Scarlet, working my way through Violet. So I kind of wanted to just give my opinion on every single Pokemon. So this is what this video is on. So let's just start off with it. I also kind of wanted to get my voice out there to kind of just let everyone know I have a voice too, and that I can do many other things with my voice, and I may do things. More subscribers, more things with my voice, bigger content, and bigger uploads. So let's just dive right into this tier list. So first up on the list, Tinkatink. This is not in any order, by the way. So we're just gonna start with Tinkatink. Tinkatink. I don't really like it. It's just like a little baby that's not that cool. It's just like a little baby. I may put it in D. I could move it to C. I think, no, I'll put it in C. Actually, no, not a big fan. I'll put it in D. It's just a baby. I don't like it. It's also a murderer. If you look at those eyes, it'll kill you. Tinkatuff is next. Tinkatuff's cooler. It's a B tier. I really like it more than Tinkatink. And Tinkaton's A. It's A tier. It's solid. Big hammer lady. Go boom. And as I said before, it murders Corviknight. So that's cool. Wow. Anyways. Next up on the list, Charcadet. Its evolutions are cool. It, not so much. It's gotta go in C tier. I don't like it. I don't like it as much. It's not that cool. It's just a little baby that's very weak early game. It's not that good. It's good for the bug type gym, and it's dead when you go to the grass type gym because of Sudowoodo. Not a big fan. However, its evolutions, I really love. Armarouge, I played Scarlet, it's A tier. However, Ceruledge is S. Armarouge is really cool. Reminds me of Mega Man. Really cool character. Just the way he shoots his lasers, man. That's so cool. Bringing his arms together so that he can shoot stuff. And then Ceruledge, it's just cooler. It's just a Black Knight, which is like a really good concept. Having blades for arms as well. Fire Ghost, one of the coolest typings, like Chandelure, and Hisuian Typhlosion, but Chandelure is more one of the cooler Pokemon that I really like, and it's really good. I just looked down. Up next, Toedscool and Toedscool and Toedscruel. These are funny. The way this guy runs, I'm putting him in A tier. I'm putting them both in A tier. They're not one of my personal favorites, but I really like them. I've used them, and they're really good. I really like them. The way they run. I love the way that Toedscruel runs. Or Toedscool. The Toedscool runs. How he runs like with his feet, just running around. It's so funny looking. And then I love how Toedscruel, he hops. He's boing, boing, boing. I love that. I just love how he runs. Next up, new evolution list. Here we go. King Gambit. I really like it. I'm gonna put it in A. I think he deserves to be in A tier. King Gambit is, I say it goes in A tier. It'd either be A tier or B tier, because it's more its stat spread. because of how slow it is, that might bring it down for me. But King Gambit is really cool, and I really like it. I wouldn't say the Bisharp really needed an evolution, but they did it justice. Clodsire, bro. How could I not? You know what? Just with that... Hold on, let me figure this out. There we go. Add a row above. And let me change the color. I don't like that color. That'll work. We're just doing that. We're just doing that. As well as, where is he? There he is. He's all the way. They have their own tier. They're just that much of a god tier. They're above S. They're even better. These are one of the best new Pokemon. Wooper and Clodsire are just one of the best god tier Pokemon. They're just so good. Wooper is cute boy. He is like one of the cutest boy. And Clodsire, I really didn't like him at first, except he warmed up to me. He became such a good boy. I didn't know what to expect, and they really did it for me, and they really did it. Next, Annihilape. Annihilape is also another one like King Gambit, which you wouldn't really expect, but you sort of would, because of the Dex entry in Sun and Moon stating that when it got so angry, it frickin' died. That just hits hard now, don't it? Yeah, I really like it. I used it to beat Larry. Sorry, Larry. You just got hard-walled by this Annihilape. But in his name, too. Annihilate, and Ape, that they just come together. It's a masterful pun. And it's so good. That's just all Pokemon names are. They're just puns. Alright, next up is the Paldean Tauroses. I don't know what to say about them. Tauros kind of needed it, but it's not what you expected. You kind of expected him to evolve, become a Minotaur. It wasn't. Either way, this did give a buff to Tauros, making him, instead of a pure normal type, into a pure fighting type, which was good. However, I don't really like it, so it's gonna go in C tier. That's the original Tauros. Its other forms, the water one, it's somewhat cooler, but it's not my favorite, so it goes in B tier. And my favorite is, of course, this one, the fire one, because it's like a literal bull, and it's just really cool. It's what Tauros really should have been. A bull that's really angry, and when you see the Paldean form, it's like, he just has like round horns. And the other one's just a water buffalo. But then you see the fire type one, and sharp horns. That thing could literally kill you. And also it can just stab you, rip your guts out, and then burn you at like 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm probably overestimating it. But hey, it's still a cool design. Now we're on to the starters. We should have started, but it didn't. Sprigatito. I'm not a big fan. It's a cute cat. I'm just not a big fan. I think it goes B. B. C's too harsh. I like. It's a solid cat. I'm not really a cat person, but cats are fine. I like them. If it's a nice cat, if it's a mean cat, no. Screw off. Next, my favorite middle evolution. It goes in S tier. This is one of my favorites. I love Florigato. I love the way it is. Florigato is just the big old Puss in Boots Pokemon that you would want. They actually did it good. This is the direction that I would have loved to see. with this Pokemon. It's really solid. It's not too human. It's more cat-like. And it uses a yo-yo. A yo-yo. I know, right? It's so cool. Some people may have their takes, but this one's my favorite. I like it the most. Next, Meowscarada. It's also gonna go in B. Actually, no, it's gonna go C. To me, that's a furry. I have nothing against furries. That's just an animal. That's an animal that stands on its two legs. It's somewhat human, and it's like kind of warmed up to me, being the second best Nuzlocke but I don't really like it per se. It's nice. It's just not my favorite. Next, Fuecoco. Bro. Fuecoco. If you don't like Fuecoco, what is wrong with you? His empty skull. Nothing is getting into that head. His cuteness. He literally eats a burnt apple in the beginning cutscene. He is just the epitome of dumb. But he's still a lovable good boy. He is my favorite. There's nothing wrong with him. He should stay wholesome. Crocolore is eh. He was not what I was expecting, but he's still good because I love his sombrero and the egg in his head, and I really think that's cool. But it's not. It's always those weird teenager phases that I don't particularly like. Next is Skeledirge, which is already S tier. Fire Ghost. Like I said with Cerulege, Fire Ghost, one of the cooler typings, and it's another starter like what we literally just got. Hisuian Typhlosion, which was Fire Ghost. This is the same as that. And it's already busted. One of the best Nuzlocking starters with Torch Song, the ability to have a throat spray on it to give it 2 special attack boosts in 1 turn, which is really good. But the thing is, you're also attacking. So you're doing damage. Instead of just setting up with like a nasty plot, you're actually dealing damage and getting that +2, which is really good. And it's really tanky. It's just kind of slow, but it's really cool. And it's one of our first quadruped starters. Kinda. If you want to count Typhlosion. Because he technically does get on all 4s, but he usually stands on 2. But we won't count him. I think all of them stand on 2 legs. I think so. Yeah, all of them stand on 2. But he's honestly one of my favorites. Next is Quaxly. Quaxly's A. Quaxly is a really good boy. He would have been my other starter pick if Fuecoco did not exist, because he's a really dapper man. He is quite sophisticated, if you might say. He is a very sophisticated lad, always nice, clean, and tidy. Quaxwell. Buddy. Going right there next to Tank. Quaxwell is... He ain't looking too good. He could have been dealt a better card. I don't like him. He's got a big head. He's got a 5 head. They probably would have fixed that. He might have been a little bit better. Just he looks kind of dumb. Well, not like dumb per se. It's just weird looking. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't look that weird. And then Quackle Ball, I might put in either C or B. I don't know. I think I'll put it in B, because it's not one of my absolute favorite. Yeah, it's higher than Meowscarada. Quackle Ball, I like it. However, he just makes you feel some things, some feelings. He looks kind of gay. The thing is, I have nothing against gays. I have many gay friends, but It's just... My man has a dump truck. And the way he runs... It just screams it. My man's skipping around as he runs around you. Of course. People are gonna make him seem... Oh, buddy. The way the Game Freak portrayed that as a Pokemon makes it seem that way. It's just not true for me. Next, Lechonk. When they first revealed him, he was perfect. The name. The meme name. Lechonk. He is a chunky boy. He is perfection. Pure perfection. He is a perfect Route 1 Mon. We won't talk about how he's made into ham and bacon and all that, but we'll just say he's a perfect pig. His evolutions I'm not that big of a fan of. Oinkalone, the male version, will go in B tier, because it's what I expected. It's not what it could have made them like cool. Like you have like, we'll say Poochyena. Poochyena is an holotype, right? We'll just say that. How a smaller dog becomes this ferocious dog. It's what many people were expecting. This small, derpy pig to become a giant warthog. Not that thing. Like, not an emo looking Thanksgiving ham. I don't know. Compared to this, which kind of warmed up to me, but I don't like it. It's just going from Lechonk to the female version. Doesn't seem that right to me. I'm not a big fan of the female version, or of the differing genders, which is caught me off by surprise. It's weird. Don't know why they chose to do that, or why they just made it pure normal when it does learn a few fairy type moves, and I could see that female being normal fairy. The male, not so much. Just the female. Like, they could have made it like a differing evolution, kind of, to me. Anyways, Dunsparce. Dunsparce he's gonna go C tier as well. Dunsparce needed an evolution, but many people were kind of like overestimating Dunsparce's evolution, making it seem like a big old dragon, which I will say I was one of those people. I kind of wanted a dragon-type Dunsparce. Dragon is one of my favorite types, but in the end we did not get that, and it's kind of disappointing. But it's kind of good to see Dunsparce actually getting an evolution, and majorly buffs Dunsparce. So it's good. It's just not one of my favorites. He could have been better. That too, being that we overestimated Dunsparce, and Game Freak just kind of made it worse by making it just a bigger Dunsparce, which they did to a few of the Pokemon in this generation. Well, some. Not all. Such as Palmy and Palmo, but we'll get to that one in the tier list. But for now, Dunsparce, he's fine. He's just not that cool. Tarantula. I've said his name wrong. Very wrong the first day I played this game. But he's a good boy. He goes in A tier. However, Spidops is not so much. When I first saw Tarantula, I thought of that Bug Snacks game all the way back then, because that's what he reminded me of. He just reminded me of those little bugs that were based off food. However, then Spidops happened. Spidops is just a weird Splatoon character. I'm not a big fan of Spidops. Spidops is D tier for sure. He's like lanky, weird. Should not look like that. Sorta. I mean, it's kind of what you expect when you look at Tarantula's face and his face. It's just so weird and lanky. The way he walks. Also, I'm not a big fan of spiders. That's another thing. Next, Nimble. I love Nimble. Nimble's a good guy. Nimble and Low Kicks both go in A tier. They're really good Pokemon. Being the first bug dark type in Pokemon. And Nimble's so cute. Nimble's cute. And Low Kicks is really underrated. Low Kicks, you get him pretty early, and somewhat early, and he's really good. And he has really good coverage, allowing him to U-turn, lunge to lower attacks, throat chop, good dark type move, and he also gets axe kick. I don't remember what it's called. I think that's what it is. As well as low sweep and other fighting type moves as well, which makes him also good for somewhat good coverage. He's pretty good in my opinion. Next up is Rellor and Rabsca. Rellor is gonna go in here. Rellor, actually, yeah, no, he goes in B tier. Rellor is just, he's a cool concept. It's just, I have a vendetta with this Pokemon. It took me so long to get him to evolve into Rabsca. It took me so long. He would not evolve. The friendship mechanic in this game is garbage. Why do you have to walk 1,000 steps? You don't even know how many you have. You don't... I just don't understand it. With no way to tell, it's like, does your character need to take 1,000 steps? Does the Pokemon? Why did you make the Pokemon so freaking slow if you wanted me to do that? Is it both the character and the Pokemon? What do you want from me, Game Freak? Why? I will say his shiny is good, having a golden ball, so I won't diss him for that. He's got a good shiny. Rabsca is significantly better, in my opinion. He's B tier. Being Bug Psychic, like one of my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon, bug types, which there are a lot in Gen 8 that are really cool. Orbeetle. I think he's number 2. I think I'd put Centiskorch before, I'd put Centiskorch then Orbeetle, but Orbeetle's really good. He's like that, and he also gets access to the broken move Revival Blessing in this game. One of, I think, 2 Pokemon to learn? I could be wrong, but yeah, having access to that was really good. He's honestly solid design. He's really cool. And being that Scarab is what he's based off of, and that's literally what Rabsca is. It's just Scarab, it's switched around, divided in half and switched around. I think that's really cool. Next up is, I love this guy, Greavard. Greavard's A tier. He's really good. Greavard is really good. I love the dog Pokemon. I am a dog enjoyer. I really love dogs. And Greavard's just a cute little guy with candle on him. And he deserves love. Even if it killed me, he deserves love. And if something were to happen to him, I'd kill everyone in this room, and then myself. Next up's Houndstone, which I'll rank him lower. He's not as cool as Greavard, or cute, but yeah, he's not as cute as Greavard. He is cool. I will give him that. I wouldn't rather use him, but I like him. I like him design-wise, and And as well as with the more Pokemon that faint, the stronger his special move is. That's a cool thing. Kind of like how with King Gambit's ability, the stronger he gets, the more Pokemon that have fainted. Flittle and Espathra. I think they're both going to go in C tier. I'm not a big fan of these guys. Flittle is a little cute. It's just, it is kind of weird how this thing goes into an ostrich. Specifically a Lady Gaga ostrich. Like, the heck is that thing? Like, I was told this is a pharaoh. That is not a pharaoh. That is indeed Lady Gaga in an ostrich costume. But Flittle is cuter, so it would be higher than Espathra. I mean, as Flittle was my first full odds shiny in this game, so nothing really against it though. It's just, well, it's just not a big fan. I don't believe I don't like it that much. Next is Farigiraf. Farigiraf is the deserved Girafarig evolution. I'm putting it in S tier because it's one of my favorites. Oops, nope, Chonko there. It's one of my favorites. I do believe that Girafarig needed an evolution, and Farigiraf is perfect. I loved using it. It was good to set up like Reflect, be bulky, and then deal damage with like Stored Power and Nasty Plot and Calm Mind and all that. It felt good. And I think this Pokemon might be underrated. It's also good competitive with like Hyper Voice, Trick Room. It's a really good Pokemon, and I like him. He also has a Chain Chomp on his head, so Chain Chomp. Alright, Wiglet and Wugtrio. Wiglet, I'm gonna put in C tier. I think Wiglet is it's like cool design-wise. It's not really good. It's a physical attacker with a special attacking type. That's what kind of puts it down, because it learns no physical water type attacks. Like, why? Why do you do that? Because he's dealing less and less damage the higher his attack stat is than his special attack stat. And that I just don't really like that with Wiglet. Otherwise, it's just another Diglett, and we've already gotten regular Diglett, and then a Alolan Diglett. This is the third one. I know it's a branching evolution, but it's just, you didn't really need it. It's cool, it's just, it's not that good, in my opinion. Wugtrio's going with D. Wugtrio, the same problem. It learns no good attacks, and it's just, it's not that good. It's not that good of a Pokemon. Actually, design-wise, it's the same as Wiglet, so you know what, I'll put it in C. It's just, it's better. It's better than, so, never mind. It goes in C. It's basically the same as Wiglet. Learns basically no physical attacks. It's very fast for some reason, and it's a physical attacker with a special attack type, which is not that good in general, and I wasn't a big fan of using it. I would put it over any other water type for any other day. I would not use a Wugtrio. If it was the last water type to exist, I would either not use it or force myself to use it if I needed it, depending on my team. Next is Dondozo, right? I think that's, yeah, it's Dondozo. Because people always say Dodonzo, I think. It's Dondozo. Anyways, I literally just said it right there. Dondozo is A tier. I love him. He is a big boy that I love, and he's so derpy looking. I call him El Bozo. El Bozo is very, very big, and El Bozo is just very, very good. I love El Bozo. El Bozo is... he's interesting. He's the fake dragon type. He's pure water, and he has a special dragon type move, which isn't even stab, but it's just cool. It's interesting. With Tatsugiri, its other Pokemon, which we'll get into that later. Next, the cooler Barraskewda of this gen are, since it's water psychic, I guess you could say the cooler Brugsish, because that was the most used recent water and psychic type. The loses an interesting design. It's really cool. It's very underwhelming to use. However, it's really cool. It's a cool Pokemon. So I like it. Would actually, because I wouldn't use it. I like it, but really wouldn't use it. So I'll put it in B. But if I was ranking off of if I liked it though, it would go in A, which I kind of am. But I'm also factoring in that. So factoring in that, it's gonna go in B because I like it. Would I use it? I would use it over Wugtrio any day, but I like it. Probably Dondozo would be in the same spot, but I'm keeping him there because I'm a bigger fan of Dondozo. Anyways, Finizen's A tier. Palafin. Well, here's the thing. Palafin's regular form. So we have Finizen. Finizen, cute dolphin Pokemon. We needed a dolphin Pokemon. That is so good. And it's so cute. It's so lovable. I loved using it. It was A. It's A. 100%. Now, Palafin's regular form. I don't remember if it's like a citizen form or whatever. I don't know. It's not good. It's... Actually, I'll put it in C. I'd rather put it in C. I don't like it. It's cool with its gimmick, but it's literally just Finizen with a heart on it. Which, I mean, I like it because it kept that, which is why I guess I'll put it up into C, because it kept the cuteness of the dolphin, but it also gave this Palafin hero form, which I love it. It's a cool superhero dolphin that has the stats of a literal legendary, and it's just so good. It's just a cool looking My Hero Academia character, and I just think it's one of my favorites. It also gets priority water type move. It's better than Aqua Jet, 60 base power. It's just really good to me, and I really like it. Some people think it's ugly, some people think it's really cool, but to me, I really like it. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. Alright, next, Smoliv. Smoliv is A tier. Smoliv is really good. Its name is perfect. It's really good. Its typing does get in the way being normal grass, but I like Smoliv. Smoliv is just small. It's a small little baby. It's a small little baby. But the next is Dolive, which that's just a small girl, and I don't like that. I don't like how it's just a small little girl. And it's like really, really weird. That's more of a girl than an olive. The whole thing is you're going with an olive, and you go to that thing. Which, to me, the final evolution makes more sense, being more like a tree. Which I will also put in A tier with Smoliv, because I like it. It's just, I don't like Dolly. It's too human to me. Too much of a small little girl, and it should be more like a tree. That is not a tree. That's a 3-year-old. Next is, one I'm not a big fan of. It's a little tiny Capsicid. The little tiny Capsicid. Capsicid is it's fine. It's not that cool. It's not that cool compared to its evolution. Just a small little baby that I'm not that fond with, but he's fine. He's fine. He's a little ugly looking, but he's fine. However, compared to its evolution, a cooler looking dragon looking Pokemon that's double-headed is Scovillain, which I will put in A tier because I really like that its design, being that it's 2 peppers, fire and grass type, really cool typing that we've been needing with like fire and ice, which was what Galarian Darmanitan's Zen mode was. That was another typing that would be cool to cross off the list. And many people really want something cool, like, many people were putting their hopes up, like I was, because of a fan game known as Pokemon Xenoverse, which, in that game there was a Pokemon known as Scoville, which I really loved because it reminded me of my favorite Pokemon, Sceptile, with its Mega Evolution being that it's turned backwards. And it really sounds like it's Scoville, Sceptile. That's what we wanted. And we also wanted one that was like, kind of like a lizard, but was also like a pepper, and that would be a really cool design. But we didn't get that. We got something very close to it though, and it's really cool, and I like it. Scovillain. I didn't use it, and I eventually did use it, but I really like Scovillain the most, and I believe it's one of my favorites. Next, Tadbulb. Tadbulb C tier, honestly, with Capsicid. It's fine. It's a tadpole, so there's nothing you can really do, but with it just left something that was more desired. Like, they could have done more with it. Like, just going straight from a tadpole to a frog, that's not technically how it works. Like, with many of the other frog Pokemon, you either start as a frog and become a bigger frog, or you go tadpole, small frog, big frog, which would be the tadpole and tadpole with like legs or something like it, and then frogs. But that's kind of what you'd expect, not the tadpole immediately to the frog. It's not what you'd really expect, and that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm needing more with it. Just more was desired. However, Bellibolt is a solid A. I really like Bellibolt. He's cute. He's a chunky boy. He's so chunky. Just you want to grab him and shake him about and see how much he jiggles. Kind of like Jello, or gelatin in general. But he's so chunky. It's kind of like Lechonk, but chunkier. And his face is cute too. The real one, not the fake one. Next up's Varoom and Revavroom. Varoom I'm gonna put into B. It's just a smaller engine that looks kinda weird. So, I'm not a big fan, but then Revavroom's gonna go in A tier, because Revavroom is Steel Poison, a really cool typing, another one that we also needed. He's really fast, can have some good setups, and he can make his 4x weakness no longer a weakness with the power of Electro. I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to look that up later. That makes it so he's now no longer 4x with the ground and not even weak to it at all. Or you could just Terra Flying or something that resist ground. That too. But Revavroom is a cool Pokemon, being both Steel and Poison. Fairy's worst nightmare. Orthworm is like C. He's not my favorite. He is kind of derpy. I like how he's derpy, It's just he's not that cool of a Pokemon. Actually, nah, he's gonna go B tier. He's like I said, yeah. No, what boosts him up is, I forgot, he has these arms. They're weird, they're freaky, but they're kind of cool. He also has an ability that makes it so he's not weak to ground, Earth Eater, if I remember correctly, which is really good. And honestly, I'm not a big fan, but Earthworm is a fine Pokemon. Tandemaus and Mousehold. I think they're all gonna go C tier. Actually, no. Tandemaus, D tier, while its evolution is C tier. Tandemaus, they're just mice. It's just mice. Those are just 2 mice. They look like they're plushies, but they're not, so they could have gone that route to make them not just mice. But no, they're just mice. And they look like plushies, and they're not. Mousehold, however, Mousehold's cooler in my opinion. I do like how, like with the Dunsparce, there's a 4 group and a 3 group, family of 4 and family of 3, and with Population Bomb, it's super busted. So that's what boosts it up for me, and it's got a cool evolution method. So Mousehold's slightly better than Tandemaus. It's just not that cool in my opinion. It's just a mouse. It's not even a cooler mouse. It's just a mouse. Citadel and Cetitan. Citadel is, I think, A. He's A for me. Citadel's cute. He's a cute boy. He's just a smaller Cetitan though, which Cetitan being a really cooler Pokemon, which honestly, I would have thought it would have been like Duraludon, a Pokemon that seemed like it would evolve, but actually doesn't. Or have a pre-evolution, and it doesn't. And Cetitan was like that. It had Citadel, which honestly, when I saw Cetitan, I honestly thought, that's just a regular Pokemon. It won't have a pre-evolution, it won't have an evolution. And I'm just going to use that. Because I like Duraludon, however, it was like a 1% encounter at the very end of the game. Wasn't doing that. And the same can be said for Cetitan as well. But honestly, I kind of like it. I really like it more. Cetitan is a really good Pokemon. Next up's the pseudo-legendaries. Frigibax, Arctibax, and Baxcalibur. Frigibax is like, I think, C tier for me. Frigibax is just, it's kind of ugly. It's like a weird looking frog. That's just not a dragon. That is not a dragon. It's kind of ugly. I don't like it. However, his mid-evolution, we're gonna skip to Baxcalibur actually. I'll talk about it in a second. Baxcalibur is B tier. Well, actually, no, it's A tier. It's A tier. I'll just move that up in a second. And then Arctibax is S. Arctibax is the coolest out of the 3, in my opinion. And then Baxcalibur is A tier. For Arctibax is just really good. It's like a Spinosaurus. It's really just the epitome of a dragon, looking more dragon-like and more dinosaur-like than its pre-evolution. And that's just really good, because in my opinion, Baxcalibur does just kind of go over the limit. It does have like a steel face for some reason, and instead of staying hunched over, it decides to go back up and have good posture. That's kind of weird. However, its special move is still really good. Glaive Rush, and then Protect to bypass its effects. If you outspeed no code, just Protect next turn and you're good. If you don't, well then you're screwed. But it's honestly Arctibax is my favorite, and Baxcalibur is he's just kind of mid, but he's cool looking. They tried with him. Tatsugiri. I'm just not a big fan of Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri is, I think, B tier. Otherwise it'd be C tier, because it's just sushi. However, it has cheese strategy, being that with counter and it has counter and the other one, mirror something, mirror coat. I think that's it, mirror coat. Being that it has counter and mirror coat, it's with both, because most Pokemon just get counter, and not a lot of Pokemon get mirror coat. I don't even know of any that get it in this game. Tatsugiri has both, being the Wobbuffet of this generation. Somewhat. Wobbuffet had Shadow Tag, allowing you to not escape. You had to attack Wobbuffet, unless you TP stalled. This is the same thing. Focus Sash, counter, and or Magic Guard. That just instantly KOs the Pokemon. No matter what they are at. It just instantly KOs a Pokemon, unless they set up in your face. Or they protect. It's just a cheese strategy. It's a really good cheese strategy. Next, Cyclizar. Cyclizar is really cool. Cyclizar is one of the best dragon types in this gen. Next to Arctivax. It's the same thing with that. He's a hunched over draconic dinosaur that's also a bike. And he doesn't use his wheels. The same as Miraidon. The same as Koraidon. Miraidon is the only one that uses his wheels because it's a futuristic one. However, Koraidon is Giga Chad, and so is Cyclizar, choosing to not use their wheels and just running. And I really liked it. I really used it for my team. Thought it was one of the best Pokemon I could have used. Pawmi, Pawmo, and Pawmot. Alright. Let's see. Pawmi. I think Pawmi is A tier. I think Pawmi... Pawmi's A. Pawmo is C. And Pawmot is A as well. Pawmi is a really cute Pikachu clone that's just a really cute Pikachu clone that a lot of people want to use. Same here. Pawmo, it's just Pawmi, but it decided to grow a thumb as well as stand up. That's it. And Pawmot is way better because it has more hair and it's bigger, and it's also way more powerful than Pawmo, being that Pawmo also doesn't have any good moves, good fighting type moves. And electric, it does get Spark eventually, but that's really when you're trying to evolve into Pawmot. And Pawmot's way better with close combat, and its special move and all that. I think it's really better. I think it's better. And then it also gets Revival Blessing, which was the one that was leaked to have Revival Blessing. And still, it's a really perfect move. That's why it's one of my favorites, and I wanted to use it. Wattrel and Kilowattrel. Wattrel and Kilowattrel, I think they're either B or A. I think I'll put them in A. Yeah. I'll put them both in A. Because they can be really powerful, but then they can also suck. But I haven't used one yet, but from my friend's opinion, as well as mine slightly, I do think that they are pretty good. Being super fast, they have access to Electro Ball and other electric type moves like Volt Switch getting out of there. Its wind power ability does help it with that. If not, it has Volt Absorb, which is also really good. And I think it's really good. I think they did a good job. They should probably do a better one. That's 3 stages. But hey. And this is also the gen of the bird. They introduced a lot of birds. This next is Bombirdier, which, in my opinion, he's B. He's not that cool of a bird, but he's fine. He's just Dark Blind, which there are a lot of other dark flying type birds out there, such as Yveltal, which is legendary, but like Honchkrow. And then there's also the paradox Pokemon Hydreigon, with which is, I think, Iron Jugulus, which is significantly better than it. And Bombardier is just he's outclassed by many things, so he's fine. He's just not that cool. Next, the first F tier. I don't like these guys whatsoever. They're just weird Elvis Presley knockoffs. These Squawkabillies, they shouldn't really exist. They should not be here. They're the regional bird. Like, you have these things towing being your flying taxi. That's it. That's all they're good for. Being a flying taxi. That's really it, because they have Intimidate, okay, that's cool, but they don't evolve. They're these weak little guys that serve no use, really. They aren't that good, really. Compared to one of the best ones in the game, A tier is Flamigo. Flamigo is the Paldean Hawlucha. You get him early game, he's broken. He's really broken, being both fighting and flying, one of the most broken types in the game. Being able to sweep the first 2 gyms, and many others, I think. First 2 gyms, he's not good against Iono. He sweeps Larry. That's all I can really think of. And the Dark type, not the gym leader, but the Team Star. The Team Star leader. He's good against those. But I say, what's next? Cloth. Cloth's kind of like Bombardier. He was hyped up. He was really cool, and in turn, he's meh. He's kind of mid. He's in between. He's like a cool Pokemon design. He's just not good. He's not that usable. But he's fine. He's not bad. He's just not good. So he's mid. Next up is these 3 Minecraft goobers, which I think, in my opinion, are A tier. We're gonna put Knackley in A, because it's a cute little Mario mushroom. I'm not as big as a fan of the Minecraft mob, Knacklestack, so he's gonna go in B. Not that big of a fan. And then Garganackle. Garganackle is a really good, cool-looking Pokemon in Minecraft Pyramid. And that is Garganackle. That's that, really. Yet again, I haven't used these guys, but in my personal opinion, they're really good to me. Glimmet and Glamora, alright. Glimmet I think is a D tier. Glimmet's not that cool. Yeah, it's not as cool as Glamora, which I'll put in B tier. Yeah, Glimmet is just a little flower in a flower pot. Well, it's better than these ones, so no. It'll go in C tier. It's C tier. It's better. It's a cool little flower pot. It's not good. I don't really like it. So it's C tier. But then B tier is Glamora, because Glamora is way cooler. The champion uses it. It's suspected to be a part of terrestrialization, and as well as related to somewhat to AZ and the later DLC. So I think that's cool. Next, Strudel and Grafia. Strudel is ugly.
Ugly.
Strudel, I don't like it. Strudel should die. I don't really like Strudel. He's kind of ugly. Kind of the Quaxwell situation. He's fine, he needs changes, but He's not that cool. Grafia is, I think, he's either A tier or B tier. I think B tier. Because he's cool, he's a good design, he is just very underwhelming. I don't like how Grafia is. He could have been better. It's just, I don't, yeah, like I said, he could have been better. It's just, Game Freak chose to make him not as good. Like, he was scrappy. If he got Fake Out, he would have been really good. Scrappy, Fake Out, being able to outspeed of many things. Maybe his stat spread wasn't that good, but being able to outspeed things is really good. Because Scrappy, normal gem, being able to use that normal gem immediately with Fake Out being boosted, and Stab, would have actually made Fake Out hurt, as well as would have boosted Grafia's speed. But he's a little underwhelming, but he's still fine in my opinion. So he's B tier. Fido, and Darkspun. These guys are S tier, I think. Yeah. Actually, no. Fido is S tier. I'm a fan of Fido. Darkspun might stay in A tier because I'm not as big as a fan, but I really like it because it's a Dachshund, which is my dog. It's like at least half of my dog. My dog is Yorkie, who's a Dachshund and Yorkie, but he reminds me so much of my dog, so I really like it. I didn't like it at first. It's weird because he's like more bred than dog, which kind of makes sense because it's Fido, and that's literally what it is. But going back to Fido, I really love it. Back with the pun thing. Fido is a dog, man. Fido. Dough is in bread. Mwah. Masterpiece. Masterpieces of names in this gen. Mastiff and Mabostiff. These guys are going S tier. I love these two. Mastiff's Dex entry is just so cheesy, and I love that. How cheesy it is. Because he just tries to scare away the kids, but he's just not. It's not scary enough. They just laugh at him, and that's so sad. I want to comfort him. I'm sorry, my child. And my Mabostiff is 100% a glass cannon, sort of. It can be tanky at times, but then it can also not be tanky at times. And that thing's attack stat's huge, as well as with the ability of Intimidate. So, honestly, a solid mod to use. And I used it for a bit, and then I'm so sorry that I dumped it. I'm sorry, my son. And, but I'm a big fan of these two. As I said, I like my dogs, and that's it. Alright, these two. Bramblin and Bramblegast. They're going in D tier. They're just tumbleweed. This is just a tumbleweed. Of course, it's just the usual ghost stereotype. Somebody died and possessed a bush. But that's still just a tumbleweed. And it's a tumbleweed that's very annoying to evolve. The same thing happened with that. How does a tumbleweed even walk? Does a tumbleweed, like, have steps? It doesn't hop, it rolls. Like, every time its face hits the ground, is that a step? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. Anyways. Oh, last ones, and then we're into the Paradox Pokemon. Gimmighoul and Goldendo. Gimmighoul, I'm not a fan of the runner one. So let's think of C tier. And then just Gimmighoul is B. And then so is Mr. What's it called? Applejacks. The runner form is not as cool. Or no, I keep saying the runner form. What's it called again? I don't remember. It's like the wild one. It's the one that runs around. If not, the one that you just interact with. That gives you a coin. It has a specific name that I can't think of right now. Then the other gimme ghoul, the chest form. The chest form I like more. It's just it, but in a chest. But I like it more. It's cooler. It's more of what it's supposed to be based off of. It's a chest demon. And I like that more. And then Goldengo is like, it's cool. I do like it. It's just weird looking. But he's just like a chill surfer dude that likes money. And loves to make it rain! But then next is the Paradox Pokemon. With banger themes and a banger soundtrack in Area Zero. The Paradox Pokemon. First, let's start off with Scarlet. The ones that I played with. Let's see. Great Tusk. Great Tusk, I think, is going to be A tier. I do like Great Tusks. Great Tusk is a really cooler Dawn fan. And I think it's a cooler Pokemon. Than any of the others. We do have, then, next is Brute Bonnet, which, it's kind of just a prehistoric Amoonguss, so I'll put it in C tier. It's not really cool, that cool, really. It's fine, just not as cool. It's just Amoonguss, but slightly better or worse. I don't know. It's like Amoonguss but a physical attacker as well. It's like it does the same thing Amoonguss could do, but it's just faster, I guess. Well, not faster. It hits harder. It has more physical attacks, like close combat and stuff. But it's just a slightly different Amoonguss, so it's C tier. Next, Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is B tier. Sandy Shocks, I think, is cooler. It's way cooler than Amoonguss. It's a cooler and melted Magneton from the past. Metal's melted, and also, that thing gave me a scare when I first saw it. I was like, what is that? Like, no one knew what these Paradox Pokemon looked like. We knew they existed, it's just, they all just were kind of crazier than they expected. It kind of makes sense, but then some of them were just like crazy. We knew that there had to be something that's cool because they're Pokemon from the past. And some of them were just crazy. Some of them were like what we expected, and some of them were super crazy. Just wow. And I'd say the Scarlet Paradox Pokemon are way better than the Violet Paradox Pokemon. Screamtail also goes in C tier. It's just another Jigglypuff with slightly longer hair. It's not that cool. Cooler than it, though, is Fluttermane, which has been banned. Banned from what was it, Uber? I don't know. I'm not that into Showdown, but it was banned like, what was it, a few days in, and then they just banned it because that thing was too broken. But it's cooler. It's a love-hate relationship with this thing. Fighting it it's a menace, and then fighting with it instead of against it is it's also a menace to your enemies. Next up, what I like to call Mothra. Slitherwing. The perfect Godzilla monster. This thing to me is S tier. This is such a cool Paradox Pokemon. This takes already a beast of a Pokemon, Volcarona, and just makes it even better looking and cooler. Now, I would have expected something better with a name such as Slitherwing. You have some that do make sense, such as Brute Bonnet, meaning a brute that's dark type, and a bonnet. Bonnet's like a grass type thing, it's what you would think of. Or Sandy Shocks. Oh, I don't know, it's rock type. No, you idiot, sand. What's sand? The ground. Sandy, Shocks, and Shocks is electric. And some of them made sense, and some of them like really didn't. Like another one that didn't make sense is Roaring Moon, being roaring like a dragon or dinosaur roars, and then so it would be dragon type, and then the moon it would be either ghost or dark. And then some of them don't make sense. Like Slitherwing kind of sounds like dragon bug, or having something to do with flying, maybe. Yeah, but then the future ones, it's kind of weird because they all have iron. So you could think they'd like be steel or electric type, only some of them are though. And like the Volcarona is Iron Maw, and it's poison fire. Where does it get the poison type from? It's a moth. I mean, I guess there's some poisonous moths, but it's weird. It's like, it's also a robot. Robots can't be poisonous, can they? Next is Roaring Moon, which, like the Mothy Boy, will also be going in as Tippet, because this just makes a cooler Pseudo become an even cooler Pokemon. It's now a Paradox Pokemon, which is even better than it currently was, and it's just even cooler, being based off of Mega Salamence, and how Mega Evolution is bringing back the primal state of a Pokemon. As referenced in Aerodactyl's Dex entry, Mega Aerodactyl's Dex entry. And that makes it really, really cool. And I'm a big fan of Dragon types, and this is a cooler Dragon type. And I love it. It's just really cool. I'm a big fan. Next up, the future Paradox Pokemon. They're not going as high. I'll tell you that. Starting off with Iron Treads, it's kind of dumb looking. Iron Treads it has its nose on its head. It's also blocking its view. Its eyes are right here. It always has to lift its nose in order to see. It has a mouth for some reason. Like, why? What are you going to eat? It's kind of like Miraidon. Miraidon's weird. He has no teeth. He doesn't even have a tongue. How is he eating a sandwich? Like, it makes no sense. I mean, there are some lizards who don't have teeth, but they can still eat up their food. But I mean, they don't have a tongue either. So it's like really weird. So just why does Iron Treads have a mouth? Like, does it need that? No. And why are its eyes just like under its trunk? There's just so many things. Like, whoever made these Pokemon, if these Pokemon are man-made, they clearly had no thought. Why? Next, Iron Moth. Iron Moth is a solid B. It's cool looking. Despite its weird typing, it's cool looking. It's a solid B. It has some things keeping it down, but it's a solid B tier, in my opinion. They made Volcarona even cooler, even as a Paradox Pokemon. Iron Hands as well. Probably, might go in C, because it's not quite as cool. Kind of just Iron Hariyama, and its hands are floating. I'll put it in B, because it's a broken Pokemon with high stats. Its stats are really high, and that's what kind of makes it broken. But otherwise, that's kind of really it. It's just, it has the highest attack stat in the game, and that's really kind of what puts it above the others. Besides these next two, Iron Jugulis and Iron Thorns, both of these guys are going in A tier, because Iron Jugulis, first of all, I had to look up what a Jugulis was, which is the neck, which is like a term for the neck, which is kind of weird. It's like, or it's the throat. It's either the throat or the neck, which I mean, I guess that makes sense, sorta, because like Hydreigon has 3 necks, or 3 throats, so it's 3 heads, but okay. but it's because of its Scarlet X Dex entry that I love this thing so much. It's not a dragon type anymore, but I love this thing because this thing is the love child of Hydreigon and a robot, which does not make any sense whatsoever. But it sure as heck is really funny. Having a dragon and a robot just have intercourse. It makes absolutely no sense. But it sure is really funny to picture in your head. But hey, next is Iron Thorns, which is just Mechagodzilla, which Pokestar Studios did before. But hey, look, Mecha-Titar's back, everybody. Either way, it's still it's still really cool looking. I really like what they did with Iron Thorns. It's just Mecha-Titar, which Mecha-Titar is a cool concept because you have Godzilla and Iron Godzilla. But I think they did good with. I think they did really good with this one. We're moving to the end game, ladies and gents. Next is Iron Bundle. I think it's C tier, because it's just Iron Delibird. It's just really just Delibird. It shoots water and is the only one of 2 Pokemon in the game to get not Wave Crash, to get Flip Turn. The other one being Palafin. But it's kind of just Iron Delibird, so nothing really much to say there. Iron Valiant is kind of our first mention towards Pokemon Fusion. This is kind of what we get for Game Freak acknowledging Pokemon Fusion. I'll also put Iron Valiant in A tier, which is kind of cool because it's Gallade and Gardevoir in one Pokemon, and it has aspects of both Mega Gallade and Mega Gardevoir, being that it has like the arms. Yeah, it has like the arms of Mega Gallade, and then it also sort of has the cape, but it's not a cape. It's more of a dress that Mega Gardevoir has, and it's like the spikes at the side of its head kind of remind you of Gardevoir's, and it has those ponytails in the back, which Gallade does not have since he's male, and can only be male. And it's really cool because it also brings out that even in the future brings out the characteristics of Mega Pokemon, which is kind of weird because that kind of makes sense, sorta, because with the past, that sort of makes sense, because if these Pokemon had Megas, that's what they would kind of look like, but then some of them aren't fully evolved, and some of them aren't fully evolved. It's kind of weird. Yeah, what I am noticing now is that all of the Iron Pokemon, all of them are fully evolved. If you're saying, what about Delibird? He is fully evolved. He has no known evolution till Gen 9. In Gen 10 they could give him one, but in Gen 9 he has no known no known evolution to this day that this video is being recorded on. Compared to the past forms have, I think, what, 2 or 3. Jigglypuff. Yeah, they have 3 Pokemon that are not fully evolved: Mischievous, Magneton, and Jigglypuff. Those are not fully evolved, which is kind of interesting. And also, it's kind of weird because if Iron Valiant is bringing out Mega Evolution, there is Titar, which That does not look like Mega T-Tar. Mega T-Tar does not look like that. So, it's kind of weird. Maybe he got inspiration from those Mega Evolutions. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he just gave it a dress because Gardevoir has a dress. I don't know. But those spikes that turn into a sword do kind of just look like Mega Galletids. So, I don't know. Next is our legendaries. Let me remember. Okay. I think it's Ting-Lu, Qian-Pao, Wo-Chien, and Chi-Lu? I think that's it. Or no, Chi... something. I think it is Chi-Lu. I don't know. Ting-Lu, Qian-Pao, Wo-Chien, and Ting... I think it is Ting-Lu. Wait, no. Wo-Chien, Qian-Pao, Ting-Lu, Wo-Chien, Qian-Pao, no, Qian-Pao, Wo-Chien, and the last one. I don't remember his name. I'll have to look that up. But first up's Ting-Lu, which Ting-Lu is not my favorite. He is just a deer with a bowl in his head. He's C tier. Actually, I'll put him D. He's not that cool. Compared to the others, I know. Okay, let's see. Compared to the others, Qian-Pao is my favorite. Qian-Pao, to me, is S tier. He is really cool. He gives me Zacian vibes with his sword, and he's basically just Cat Zacian. That's basically it. It's if Zacian was a snow leopard, and I think that's really cool. He also has an ability that lowers the defense of everyone on the field, so making his high attack stat really useful. Wo-Chien. Wo-Chien is B tier, honestly. To me, is B tier. It's kind of mid. Like, I don't really hate him, but I don't really like him either. So, I have seen a lot of people who like him. It's just, I'm not that big of a fan of him, but I'm not saying I hate him. But I'm not saying I like him either, so he's in the middle, B. It's Chi-Yu, I think that's it. Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu is the name. Chi-Yu. I think I'm right. I think that's it. Yeah, Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu, where do we go? Chi-Yu is going to be also S tier, because Chi-Yu is just he's just so cute. He's a cute little goldfish. It's just your pet little goldfish. If your pet goldfish was on fire, and over like 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Yeah, just... he's so cute. I do like him. Goldfish are... depending on the goldfish are cute. I do like the ones that have the stuff on their head. I don't remember what they are. But, that's what he kind of reminds me of, because with his build eyes, I do like them. I think he's based off of a different one. But, I like those goldfish with the big old things on their heads. I do believe they're so cute. And now we're down to the final two, the Fox Art Legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon. Because I played Scarlet, it's kind of easy for me to say this, but Koraidon, even some Violet players must agree, Koraidon is the better Legendary. But some people chose Scarlet, and actually relatively, a lot of people chose Scarlet. But, hey, where did Miraidon go? But hey, I ain't dissing you. Koraidon, to me, is S tier. Oh wait, S got moved. Hold on, wait. There we go. S got moved. Is S tier. And I believe he is so cool. And then as well as, where did Miraidon go? And Miraidon to me is A tier. He's cool. He's just, besides that he looks like a part of the male body, he's honestly really cool. It's just, I mean, some of him to me just like doesn't really make sense. Like, my man can literally fly, but he chooses to like hover short distances. And then there's other things, but I can't think of it right now. But to me, Miraidon just kind of really doesn't make sense, but he's cool nonetheless. And Koraidon is the cooler, more active, more primal, the cooler looking legendary. And this is my tier list. This is my opinion, by the way. This is what I think. If you would like to do your own opinion to this, go ahead. I'll probably link the one I used in the description below. But how do you like this tier list? Give me your opinion on it. Just let maybe you can change some of my mind, but I think this is going to be my final version. I do believe I'm not changing this. I think this might be it. But hey, as I said, you can try and change my mind. This is still my opinion, but you can go ahead. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you stayed through the entire video. If you did, good job. And I'll do more content like this if you want. I can do more voice acting stuff. I get more subscribers, I'll probably do that. I'll do it to where I can read stuff in your favorite character's voice line. You don't know. I think this will be it for now. I do hope that you like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.